This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome and thanks so much for tuning in to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. It's Wednesday, June 2nd. Well, a motorcycle rider has been killed over the Memorial Day weekend on the I-15 in Las Vegas. Nevada Highway Patrol says 20-year-old rider identified as Oliver James Quinones Marimon from Las Vegas was traveling on the highway at a high rate of speed near Lamb Boulevard when, for unknown reasons, the rider went off the roadway, losing control of the 2016 black and red Yamaha, which slid into the guardrail near the off-ramp. He was ejected from the bike and pronounced deceased at the scene of the crash. A 33-year-old man from Bunkerville, Nevada was killed in an Overton crash over the weekend when he rolled his vehicle off the Highway 170. NHP says this past Sunday around 1:30 in the morning, a gray Nissan Rogue driven by 33-year-old Cesar Luez Sandoval was traveling near Scrub Lane when the car went over the center lane, traveling onto a dirt shoulder and struck an embankment. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle. Sandoval was pronounced deceased at the scene of the crash. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded to a report of a trash truck on fire this afternoon. Crews responded quickly and the driver declined any treatment.
So a dispatch report of a vehicle fire at Blag in Florida. As we were arriving on location, we had a heavy dark black smoke column develop. We found a trash truck located on the street. There were no immediate structure exposures. However, we had an active hydraulic leak that was running down the curb of the roadway. We quickly laid in a 5-inch supply line to the nearby hydrant, 2-inch and 3/4 hand lines, direct attack on the fire, quickly controlled it with no extension. We assessed the driver. He was declining any medical. And crews are making good progress, making sure that the fire does not migrate into the trash area of the truck.
Well, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue was busy today. They had a vehicle versus structure accident this morning at Wells Fargo. There was hardly any damage to the vehicle. The driver, however, was transported to Desert View Hospital. And there was no injuries reported this morning in an accident involving a motorhome and an SUV. Traffic was diverted around a two-vehicle crash that occurred this morning on Thousand Air and Vicky Ann Road here in Pahrump. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units arrived on scene, along with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, who checked out all occupants of both vehicles, which included a recreational vehicle and an SUV. All occupants declined to be transported to local medical facilities. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the cause of this accident, which resulted in minor damage to both vehicles. Well, inmate Ray Johansson walked away from a Nevada Division of Forestry fire crew around noon today and was captured a short time later. The 42-year-old was determined to be missing from a crew working north of Sand Harbor in Washoe Valley. He was captured at Incline Village shortly after 2 p.m. Johansson was housed at the Stewart Conservation Camp. He arrived at the Nevada Department of Corrections on August 25th of last year from Elko County. He was serving a sentence of 16 to 40 months for attempting to traffic a controlled substance. He was sentenced to parole in July. Additional charges are pending. And News 25 will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Lawmakers are working to finalize the details of a proposed infrastructure spending plan. Manufacturing ticked up in May, and a study shows Amazon warehouse workers have high rates of injuries.
In our news, Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito will be at the White House this afternoon meeting with President Joe Biden. They will be pounding out an infrastructure deal. Republicans last week offered a nearly $1 trillion plan. The president wants $1.7 trillion to revitalize America. Reports say Biden also wants to wrap the deal up this week. On Tuesday, the president laid out details to reduce the racial wealth gap. during his visit to Oklahoma to mark the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre in an area known as Black Wall Street. Checking the U.S. economy, manufacturing perked up in May. The ISM index increased to 61.2 from 60.7 in April. Amazon warehouse workers had the highest rate of injury compared to any other warehouse workers. The new study cited on CNBC reveals that last year, for every 100 Amazon employees, 5.9 were seriously hurt.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Department was called to investigate a report of a man in the street with a gun.
On May 8th, deputies were dispatched to a Pahrump address regarding a report of a subject with a gun. The reporting party stated that a black adult male was on Sunset Street between Barney and Woodchips shooting a gun. Multiple deputies were dispatched to the address. Upon arrival, contact was made with several subjects who were subsequently detained. Later, a 9mm firearm was located in the open garage of the residence. The suspect was identified as Devonta Williams. Williams was advised of his rights and agreed to speak with law enforcement. According to the declaration of arrest, Williams admitted that he owned the firearm that was found in the garage of the property and that he had been shooting the firearm in the area. He further stated that he was allegedly shooting at an object in the street and he shot approximately 15 rounds at this object. When asked, Williams said that he was the only one who shot the firearm and that he thought he could because he was in the country. Deputies located an empty 9mm magazine in Williams' front pocket. Several empty shell casings were also located on the ground in the area. Devonta Williams was arrested for discharging a gun where a person might be harmed. He was taken to Nye County Detention Center.
And the Disabled American Veterans held their Day of Remembrance on May 31st, a day to honor and remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. News 25 was able to speak with DAV Chapter 15 Commander Terry Janke about the day that was filled with speakers and ceremonies to honor those that have served. Terry also told us about upcoming DAV events.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner.
We look forward to this. It's for many of our members. It's a solemn day. It's not a celebration. It's a remembrance of those that we've lost. If you've been in the military, if you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran, you know the pain that's associated with it. And we can celebrate on Veterans Day, but on Memorial Day we remember.
That was one of the things that is even in the service with the dog tag ceremony, the wreath ceremony, and of course we can't forget that the one table there that is for a signal.
POWMIA ceremony. Yes,
that's something that is very unique.
Yes, it is. It came about because of the Vietnam War, and it holds a great deal of significance to any of us who were there.
All of you who served with them and called them comrades, who depended upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. So until the day they come home, remember.
Pete Eckhorn, another one of our junior voices, was the bell ringer today. Mm-hmm. He didn't get any recognition in the program. Pete, I'm sorry.
You got it now. There you go.
That's true. But yeah, the POW ceremony wouldn't be the same without the bell.
It's very moving. So for what's coming up for the DAV?
This Saturday, June the 5th, in Deutsch Park, is our annual Veterans Appreciation Barbecue.
Fantastic.
Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, runs until 2. Veterans and their family members eat for free. Everybody's invited. For non-veterans, adults $5, children under 12, $3. But it's always a great time. We're going to have some live entertainment. Dan Shinhoffen is going to provide some entertainment for us, and looking forward to seeing him again. And good food, good camaraderie. And please come out and enjoy it.
Well, on Memorial Day, we honored those who've lost their lives while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. Dozens turned out Sunday at the VFW Post 10054 in Pahrump for a special remembrance ceremony.
Today was our annual Memorial Day service that honored the fallen soldiers. We are here at VFW Post 10054, located right here inside Pahrump, Nevada. The actual Memorial Day by proclamation, which was the general order I read, states that May 30th is actually Memorial Day. The government back in the 1970s, I believe it was, I don't know the exact year, proclaimed that it was going to be the last Monday in May. That's not the actual day. Today was the actual day, and that's why the VFW had it today. We had a record number come out this year compared to last year and the year before. Starting off the whole ceremony, it was a wonderful dedication, with the general order, and then our chaplain's prayer coming in, replacing the flags, which is, the greatest symbol of this nation here, and then taps just made it so beautiful.
More news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, in addition to Sunday's Memorial Day ceremony, VFW Post 10054 on Monday, with the help of some local Boy and Girl Scouts, retired more than 1,000 U.S. flags and banners.
Today here at the VFW, we are having a flag retirement ceremony for all the flags that have tear rips in them, or, they just need to be retired. So we retire them into our fire pit.
This is the only true way to actually retire the flags, and it's a great honor to have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts be a key part of that, and they are learning how to actually do it properly. So in the future, when they are the leaders, they know how to do it. It's perfect.
The groups that were invited to come help and participate in this event today was Troop 413 from Boy Scouts, and then Troop 64 from Girl Scouts.
Can you tell me a little bit about the plaques? This was an Eagle Scout project, right?
Yes, actually that Eagle Scout project was my son's Eagle Scout project for Troop 651. I believe we completed it back in December or January of 2021. And it's dedicated to all the veterans, and it's also got a plaque up there for everybody who also donated the concrete and the wood and everything that we needed to finish the sidewalk for my son's Eagle Scout project.
I was surprised to find out that a lot of people didn't know that the proper way to retire a flag is to actually burn it. And if you have a flag that needs to be retired, you can drop it off at the VFW post located on Homestead Road here in Pahrump. VFW Post 10054 retires flags twice a year, on Memorial Day weekend and on September 11th. And ending our Memorial Day weekend coverage, Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, originated in the years following the Civil War and became an official holiday in 1971. Pahrump Marine Corps League Detachment 1199 honored all who have served and not returned at a Memorial Day service on May 31st. We spoke to Danny Griggs about the day.
Today, we're doing our best to honor all the dead that have served in the military. These are all the men that did not return home from combat. We had our sheriff do the wreath. It's a wreath just like we put on all the graves at all the cemeteries, especially Arlington. We also do the flags. The dog tags we do a dog tag for each of the services to say for all the men from that service that have given their lives for America. I had approached Frank about doing a little speech for us. His prior service being in the Air Force, he just was a good fit to be here for Memorial Day. To me, Memorial Day, I'm just extremely happy that my father, my father-in-law, and one of my best friends were all able to return and be here for their families. I know so many men that did not return. And so for me, I'm giving thanks to all those men that have passed before, that I had my family with me. We've also got the gentleman here with a Jeep that is not World War II era, but it's close.
And with summer officially just around the corner, many people are hoping to shed that extra weight gained during the pandemic. But if you haven't worked out in a while, you may be wondering where to start.
I think it's always really important to kind of take baby steps and to ease into it. You don't need to go into the gym and spend an hour and a half in there doing both cardio and weights right away. I think small incremental steps and changes are the most beneficial, they're the least intimidating, and they're the most sustainable.
Dr. Marie Schaefer is a sports medicine specialist for Cleveland Clinic. She says if you don't feel comfortable going to the gym, you can always exercise outside, which is actually safer when it comes to COVID-19. She also recommends getting vaccinated if you haven't already. That way you're protected when doing group activities like an aerobics class. As far as dieting goes, she says stay away from fad diets. They may give you quick results, but they're not sustainable long term. She recommends counting calories instead, which you can do using a phone app. She says it's also important to drink lots of water and get enough sleep. Mental health plays a big role too.
If you really find yourself in a very anxious place or even a depressed place, really seek out medical care. The pandemic is unroofing a lot of mental health issues, and I think people have to be mindful that this might not just be the pandemic, that this might be an underlying mood disorder.
Dr. Schaefer says if you recently had COVID-19, it's especially important to ease back into exercise, even if you were pretty athletic before. She says it can be dangerous to push your body too hard, so know your limits.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler staring out the KPVM weather window. Look at this. They're setting up for the Pahrump Music Festival this weekend. Got carnival rides, got games, got music. Oh, that should be fun out in the heat. Oh, we'll tell you about that heat here in just a second. Come on back.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Grateful that I got the short haircut this weekend because, man, is it hot. It's dangerously hot. Let's look up and down the state. It's terrible. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City are all in the mid to upper 90s. We're getting a little break mid-state with Tonopah and Goldfield in the lower 90s. But look at the rest of us, folks. 102 in Beatty, 106 out in Amargosa, 108 in Las Vegas. Oh, man. 118 out in Death Valley and here in the Paradise of Pahrump. Well, it's a little better. 103 degrees. That's not really, it was worse earlier. It's 105 degrees. Southwesterly winds at 9 miles per hour as the sun rose this morning at 5:27. Setting this evening just shy of 8 o'clock, 7:56, and we'll see those winds continuing out of the east-southeast to 8 miles per hour. Low temperature tonight, 76 degrees, and that humidity, 14%, but you kind of notice it in this heat a little bit more than you normally would. What are we looking at coming into the week? Well, it's not going to get a lot of relief. For about the next 3-4 days, it's going to be up 105 degrees, 103, 101. Might get a little more wind, which might help come Sunday. Blow some of this hot out. We'll be into the mid-90s and lower 90s by next week, so some relief in sight. But definitely pack some extra water with you wherever you go. Stay out of heat if you can. Stay into the AC and don't get heat stroke. It's a bad week for it. All right, back to the desk. It's Miss Indiana.
Thanks so much, John. Well, we want to remind everybody, of course, that Pahrump Music Festival that John was talking about right before the break is beginning tomorrow and lasting through June 6th there at Petrick Park, right out there on the corner of Basin and Highway 160. Find out more, you can find Pahrump Music Festival on Facebook or go to their website, Pahrump Music Festival. Of course, KPVM TV recorded the graduation for Pahrump Valley High School on Friday. If you would like to buy a digital copy or DVD, you can give us a call, 727-9400. You can buy your copy now. And of course, if you had stills taken, and if you are a graduate, you did, you can get in touch with I Do Photography to order those photos. You can find them on Facebook, I Do Photography. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for all of this here at KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.